This is the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast, and I'm your host, Trudy Simmons from the Daisy Chain Group, providing platforms for women entrepreneurs to be seen and heard. This platform is for women entrepreneurs that want to hear the real stories of what it takes to be yourself and run a business with all the different hats that you might have to wear. These are the stories of the tenacious, the rebellious, and the resilient women that are working towards the future that they want to build for themselves and their families. Hello and welcome. This is the brilliant Jeannette Jones from Any Green Will Do, and we are talking about the book Shine On You Crazy Daisy, and Jeannette has very brilliantly written a chapter about that. Jeannette, please introduce yourself.
I'm Jeannette. And this is me, and it's all very exciting and a bit sort of surreal because I'm just me. So it's very, very exciting. I'm a grandma. To me, it's a normal life, but obviously it's not because I've got a chapter in the book. So it's all going to be very exciting.
What does your business do?
Any Green Will Do. Does what it says on the tin. It does everyday household, eco-friendly, ethically sourced products. And it's easy, and I don't do complicated, I don't do difficult. It is easy, and I'm just trying to get people to swap to something eco. Simple as that.
Really good, and obviously very important in this day and age to be able to do those things. So one of the things that was really interesting, and I think that is a brilliant part of your story, is that you have MS.
Yes.
Multiple sclerosis. When were you diagnosed, and what was it like being diagnosed?
I was diagnosed when I was 32, and it was horrible. The doctor signed me off for 3 months to try and get my head around it. I didn't tell my parents for 2 years because I knew that they blame themselves. So when I did tell them, they did blame themselves because it's not hereditary, but there's a tendency, and my dad's mum had it. And it's one that mainly women get it. So my brother hasn't got it, but I have. And fingers crossed that my 2 girls don't have it, but there's nothing I can do about it. But it's horrible, and it really, it's like being shot. It's just a real, oh my God, my lovely, exciting life that I was going to do with my children then goes completely upside down and inside out, because you're like, I've got an incurable degenerative disease. Well, it's a condition, beg your pardon, it's not a disease, and there's no cure, and what do I do? And I could either sit in the corner and cry and think woe is thee, or just think tough and make me bigger, make me stronger, just go for it, enjoy life. And I decided to use the latter, and I'm very pleased that I have. So yeah, I'm here and me.
And your resilience really does shine through in everything that you do, in the way that you put yourself out there and how you're visible. So I think that's one of your impressive qualities.
Thank you.
So in all of that, and knowing that that's your diagnosis, what made you start your business? Was there a trigger that made you think about doing this?
Yes. My little Maya, she's my granddaughter who arrived a bit earlier than anticipated. But she's now 6, and I'm just like, I'm a grandma on a mission. I know what I've now got to do in my life, and Maya is my inspiration, if you like. And basically, I am just trying to make her have a healthier environment to live in, less chemicals, the best chances possible that she can live healthier than a lot of stuff that's going on at the moment. So grandma on a mission. I'm just like, come on, guys. If I can do it and I'm 51, anybody can do it. Actually, my eldest regular client is Mavis, bless her cotton socks. She's 80 and she doesn't even have a computer. She just rings me up and says, Jeanette, have you got something that does this? And I'm like, yeah, of course I do. Oh, can I have one of them, please? Brilliant. And if Mavis at 80 can do it.
And does Maya understand that you're doing this because of her? Does she understand what eco living is, or is it just part of her life?
I don't think she loves helping me when I go out and do stalls and events and things. She loves being there and helping and talking to people. And I think it's I think she's a little bit young at the moment to understand. She's very, very intelligent, and she grasps the whole concept of the world and animals and things like that. But I don't think she realizes that she's my why. It's brilliant, because when kids are at school now, they learn all about the planet and the environment and chemicals and things like that. And it's in the news that those powers that be have now said that, it's climate change is our fault. Basically, it's what we've done to the world, and that's why we've got the fires and the famines and the floods and everything. And I know people say, "Oh, but if I just change to a tin of deodorant instead of a roll-on deodorant, it's not going to make any difference." I'm like, yes, it is. If you do one thing, that's one thing's better than not doing anything at all. So it's just that concept of, yes, you do make a difference. And it's as simple as that.
And it's personal responsibility, isn't it? It's being able to say it's the power of one, which you are doing very successfully. And it is knowing that one change that we can each make makes a difference in the long term, rather than thinking my one thing doesn't mean anything, so why even bother? And I think that you are an absolute champion of that. So it is fascinating to watch what you're doing and how that's affecting how we think in our environments, and then to be able to teach your granddaughter about that in a way of showing and taking action rather than just talking about it is phenomenal.
Thank you. I mean, she did come out with me once because I do a mobile refilling, and she came with me, and she thought it was great that she was decanting stuff from a big bottle to a smaller bottle and then putting it on the scales and all that. She absolutely loved it. Like little shopkeeper. So she's brilliant. She does get help. It really helps. I don't know if it's help, but she's there. Yeah, it's just assisting grandma. So it's cool.
In your chapter, you talk about evolving, especially over the last couple of years. What did that look like to you, to have to evolve?
Well, my main selling was events. Those were the days, eh? And so you have to evolve, or else you just go down. And I did a couple of things. One, I started the mobile refilling service because I could go to people, not even see them, and fill up all their, washing up liquid, shower gel, shampoo, and all that sort of thing. But I also did an awful lot more online. I had a rebrand. I looked at my ideal client. I used and abused the power of being a grandma, because I think being a grandma means that you can get away with anything. And I do. Well, I don't know if I get away with it, but I do. I don't care, because it's such an important thing. So my presence on in various groups and pages and things on the internet, on the social media, I have increased. And I know it's working, because people come back to me and say, "Oh, I nearly threw that bottle away. I thought of you and I'm reusing it for something else." Brilliant! I've made a difference. It's rippling, and it's just having to continue. If you stay still, you're going to drown, and somebody else is going to take over. You have got to be seen, and I think it's brilliant that there are people say to me, "Oh, but somebody else is doing that." No, I don't care. I don't care if 10,000 people do it, because it's that important. Just get the word out. You never say there's too many coffee shops, do you? Or too many Marks and Spencers. There are other shops available, but do you know what I mean? You don't go down the high street. Oh, there's too many. It's building the momentum and making people realise if what you do is because of your habit, you learnt it from your parents. So what we need to do, what I'm trying to get people to do, is if you change your habit, it will then be your children's normal habit.
Yeah.
So we are in the most difficult situation, that we are the ones having to change their habit. But the children, that'll be their normal habit. So teach them healthier, greener, environmentally friendly, ethically habits. And then you've made a difference. And that's all I'm trying to do, is make a difference.
That's incredible. And that's a legacy. And as much as we may not understand that whilst we're doing our businesses, the next generations will, because of what you have taught through the generations that you're helping and putting these things in front of them, because unless it's put in front of people, we don't know that this is even a possibility. So that's amazing.
Thank you.
If there was one lesson that you wanted to tell another entrepreneur, what would it be? What's something you've learned? No.
Go with your gut.
Ooh.
That's what I've done. I mean, basically, with my story throughout, it's like you come to everything is a left or a right, or a possible or not. Go with your gut. And I've always found my gut has been my right instinct. What feels right for you is going to be pushing your business forward, because you are your business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
And it's when we're around business people and environments, and everybody's got an idea of what you should do, what you can do. It's then looking at what you actually, what's in your gut of what's right for you and going with it. And I think with your background and your diagnosis, you know what your capabilities are, and you know when to step back to look after yourself.
Yes, but I try.
We all do.
It works sometimes.
Yep. What's your favorite business book?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because it hasn't been published yet. And it's I know, and it's something to do with daisies, and it's going to be amazing, because I like being nosy, and to actually have a book with chapters of different business women's journeys, I think is amazing. And I'm going to be there on the list, top the list, buying my copy, and then selling it to everybody else, saying, "Oh, I'm famous. You've got to buy it. You've got to find all these stories. It's brilliant."
Shine on you, Daisy.
It might be. That was a good title.
Cheers, thanks a lot. Came up with myself. That's amazing. Jeannette, I really appreciate your time and the fact that you have written a chapter for Shine On You Crazy Daisy, and the way that you are out in the world and you don't give up. Your tenacity and your resilience is really shining through, especially in the last 2 years with everything that's been put on us. And I congratulate you on what you've achieved so far.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very excited. Here's to tomorrow. That's what I say.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. Here's to tomorrow. Yes. Thanks, Jeannette.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Judy.
Thank you so much for watching the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast. If you've liked what you've seen today, then please make sure that you click the subscribe button to this channel to see more inspiration and motivation as more of these stories keep coming out. And if you want even more, click on the link below this video and go and have a look at the series of books, Shine On You Crazy Daisy, and get even more inspiration and motivation for you and your business.